Saudi Arabia's energy minister speaking on CNBC earlier. A couple of takeaways from that conversation for you. First, as I pointed out before, he doesn't sound too downbeat on the 4% decline that we've seen in the price of oil. And at the same time, this is an interesting perspective to be taking into the OPEC Plus meeting, which is going to be happening next week. This is the first opportunity that producers will have to react in the form of a potential cut to production at that meeting if they do see fit, if the coronavirus they feel will continue to spread and as a result continue to impact the overall oil market. But more importantly, senior OPEC sources have also told CNBC today that any suggestion that there is a fracture between the OPEC and non-OPEC alliance here is simply not appropriate. What we have heard from senior leaders is that while there has been some concern about Russia's position and about Saudi Arabia's position, the suggestion that the group is fractured in any way is simply not true. So that's something that we wanted to get out there for you. On the other hand of this, though, it's going to be important to see what they do at this upcoming OPEC Plus meeting in Vienna. Will they decide to deepen production cuts in the order of 600,000 barrels, as has been suggested by the JTC, or will they move to not necessarily go that deep, instead choosing to continue to assess how the coronavirus is impacting the market into the future? So that's just something to look out for. We also asked this question to the Bahraini oil minister, of course not a member of OPEC, but sometimes acting as an observer, still a very important voice and an important contributor to the conversation in terms of what the OPEC group would do. He told me that he would endorse a cut at this stage, saying that it would be necessary to cut production in order to stabilize the market and support prices amid the coronavirus outbreak. I also asked him about the situation in Bahrain, which this morning confirmed a 6th case of the virus stemming from Iran, which has amplified concerns in this region about the spread of the virus beyond China. Listen in.
They've been ready for it, and now it's a means of containment. We've got a professional team committee looking out for this. They have the right means, they have the right centers to observe those people infected and to make sure it does not spread widely. Of course, it's going to have an impact on travel. We're going to have a careful watch on people coming from countries that have a widespread infection of the virus. Certainly the ones that came from particular countries have demonstrated that it is prone to that. And hopefully this could be contained faster than we fear.
Tell me how this is impacting the oil market, though. Obviously, we saw prices falling around 4% overnight, so they seem spooked on what this could mean for forward demand.
Well, it had a huge demand on the Chinese markets, but aviation today is a big a victim of this. Hopefully, it's short-lived, we hope. Now, I was listening to the World Health Organization. They, as of yet, are not concerned that this will be a worldwide epidemic. So hopefully those fears are not realized, and if they can contain it fast enough, sure enough the demand will come back.
It's important to look at the overall price and how this could impact economies across the region. If you look at the Bahraini example, it has a fiscal break-even price of above $90 a barrel, with oil prices hovering around the 50 USD handle. Obviously, this is quite concerning for them. We've also spoken with the head of sovereign ratings at S&P, for example, who have suggested that Bahrain could be vulnerable to a ratings downgrade if oil prices didn't improve from this point on. So that underscores just how important oil is for this region and the economies of this region, and also helps you to understand a little bit more about what could possibly happen at the OPEC meeting next week, and the question of whether or not these producers will deepen production cuts to stem the concerns and the price declines that we've seen as a result of this spreading virus. Back to you guys.